Hey, what's going on, friends? Good to see you. It's been a little while. We're going to get back into it. Well, in fact, we're really getting into it. It's finally live. It's finally real. I know some of you are frustrated. We're all in the same boat. I'm with you. I couldn't have possibly been more prepared, and that was brutal. But someday we may look back and think to ourselves, we were still there on day one, right? If we go to where we want to go, we all still got in dirt cheap. And so I know we all had hopes and dreams and wishes of getting in real cheap, and that was stressful, but some of that was also expected, minus the tech problems. Like that was good, right? So the most important thing is that we are launched, we are live, Lemon is real, Lemon's flying off the shelf. We got all kinds of light papers. We got all kinds of great stuff that came in today. So I know Jay's going to join us shortly. He was excited to join us a half hour ago. I told him, I said, it's already on set up for a time. We'll just wait up a second. So what's up, Atlanta? Very good stuff. Let's see. So happy LEMX launch. Rob, I think that's the point that we have to reframe and refocus everybody on. We launched. We got it done. You know what I mean? The updates are consistent, they're persistent, they're steady, they're real, they're tangible. We got minting, staking, tokens, light papers, launchings, news, communications, everything's real, right? So that's the good news. Good afternoon from Atlanta. Another one from Atlanta. Very good. Big step to L1, right? Like, we can't have validators without tokens. We can't have an L1 without validators. And so you're seeing these sequential rollout steps. And for those of you who feel like you missed out hardcore on LEMX, I'm sure Jay's going to tell you the same thing. I know we all wanted to crush it there. Like, obviously we do. Still do. Still having some FOMO and some butthurt about it myself, just like everyone else. I ran in lots of tech problems, and no one's in control of that. But the good news is the L2 projects, just like always, are going to come in a lot harder and a lot stronger. You guys are going to be very surprised, I think, with what you see coming up. So let's squeeze them lemons. I like it. I dig it. Rick from Orlando. What's up, Rick? There we go. Loving Lemon in St. Louis. There we go. That's good. People getting fired up. Kayvon Robbins, Longview, Texas. That's good. Melbourne, Florida. Chris, what's up? $65. Question is, do you buy or do you go validator? Well, you can only be a validator with Lemon tokens, period. You need 5,000 USD worth of Lemon tokens, or you cannot be a validator. So there's the answer to that question. Gold Coast in the house. It's good. Aussies. Boy, damn, it's late. It's really, really early in the morning for Aussies right now, I would say. Yeah, Hatters is on. Same thing. Great day. Congrats, Lem team. Yeah, it still is a great day, right? Even if you had some unbelievable tech problems an hour ago, as I did as well, it is still a great day here, friends. Brisbane. Oh, boy, the Aussies set their alarm, and they're not going back to bed. I can see it now. New Jersey in the house. All right. Yeah, Melbourne. That's good. Who here feels like they need a drink already? How those goddamn tech problems and exchanges and wallet apps. And yeah, that was hectic. Yeah, no kidding. That's an understatement. Buy more NFTs. I like it. All right. All set. 5 a.m. Yeah, exactly. And 4 a.m. is when you set your alarm. So yeah, that's early. Feeling zesty in Raleigh. I like it. Suzanne, what's going on? What's up? Where to buy token? I'm not sure what that question is, but hey, Jay, what's going on, man? Good to have you.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great. I think everyone's got a little bit of road rash from tech problems and exchange problems. But other than that, we are absolutely pumped that the token's live. Everything's real. You and the team are delivering on the promises. We're going to bigger, much, much bigger places than where we are today. With the market caps looking juicy, the charts are looking juicy, and the L2 projects, the light papers are out, all this great stuff going on. And we know those who are paying attention that the L2 projects are going to outperform the utility token. So I'm sure we'll get into that today. So what's on your mind to get us kicked off?
Yeah, so look, guys, we are running at record speeds, okay? And I want to make sure everybody understands that we're doing everything we can to make sure we're hitting deadlines. Today's fun. This really just basically puts a go block back on here and say, okay, it's time to fucking go. And I guess we just got it. LFG, yep, there we go. From
that's what
Boston.
we need, yeah.
So look, when you look at the bigger picture of where we are heading, today had to happen. And we do have bots that are taking advantage of our community, guys. We can't get rid of them completely until the L1. It's just something we have to deal with. They're actually out there in every single crypto project. There's front running bots. I'm going to give everybody a quick little example. Please take your capital and put it in a very small way and dollar cost average and everything. You'll protect yourself from the bots. 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. I literally have seen a bot today pick up a couple $100,000 in profit purely because people are trying to drop in $20,000. They'll actually buy $40,000 or $50,000 right before you in a millisecond, get the price to go up, then your ticket goes, and you basically spent, you know, an extra $1 or $2 for that token, and then right after your purchase goes through, they just sell it. They take their arbitrage in between. And so they're not here for the community. They are here for money, and they're here to strip it from us. So now that that's an education, and it happens everywhere, understand you do what you can, and you just try to outsmart them and just keep your dollar cost average. It's just standard practice with anything in any crypto venture. I would just tell you to do that. Great things coming. Today had to happen, guys. We have a big week. We just barely started. I'm going to tell you that tomorrow we have a live, and this live is going to be something that you guys have mentioned, that you guys want to meet some more of the partners. You guys want to meet some more of the people behind. This is a rollout for a very strategic reason. He's been in Cyprus at an event. He actually mentioned, without mentioning our name today, he talked about you know, the exchange, the DEX, the L1, and got really excited about the big things coming to all things Lemon. Tomorrow, he is mentioning us by name. He's very much a big part of our ecosystem, and he's a big part of our platform. And more importantly, he's actually a partner, an equity partner. And this is something that is going to be very fun, because when you see the caliber and what they are bringing to the table, this is what we all need. We need new fresh eyes. We need new fresh blood. And this particular individual is a marketing genius. He created an ecosystem that he can pretty much put 20 to 22 billion eyes on anything every single month. And this is something that has trickled out over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Well, tomorrow is the time we get to introduce you all to him personally. And so with that being said, let's talk about what other things we have coming.
Yeah. That new shirt, by the way, you got coming this week. I like it.
Yeah, new shirt. We also have L2 projects. We have done up the light papers. We got them out a little bit late, just by a couple hours, guys. We're clicking through. We're trying to hit everything on time and go. We've got all of the Validator landing pages in that being kicked up, along with on the DApp. We're going to have a Validator icon. You can go right there and start your pre-orders tomorrow. We're going to do that right after our introduction to our partner goes live. This will also take more volume, and to come into LEMX, there is no way to get a validator unless you physically come through LEMX in order to get the token to purchase the validator. This is what a true utility token is all about. So is it going to be volatile for a minute? Absolutely. Is the liquidity going to start going wider? Absolutely. And the biggest thing is we have a lot of L2 projects. They also have to go through LEMX. Now, this is a learning lesson. I will tell you, every single time we list an L2, get ready for the rodeo, because this is going to happen over and over and over and over again. And it's so much fun. It really is. And you just got to make sure that you haven't got an overload of caffeine at the time, because it kind of gets a little heart race going, but it's exciting. And it's going to do this every single time we do an L2 release for minting. You're going to see nice price action in that on LEMX. You're going to see all kinds of mintings down. We're at about 15,000, I think, on the L2 right now, which is absolutely insane. It's this low. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually shocked. We had a budget, I believe, around 22,000. 22,300 was on our budget, so we are actually lower. Although we had a little accident, we fixed that now, so we're back to 1 a day per wallet. This is now a hard, so it started working and then it stopped working. So we had a little mix-up for about 10 hours. That has now been closed by the dev team. So that should now stay honest across the whole community. We were keeping track of everybody that indulged themselves in these licenses, and the good news is it was pretty well rounded, everybody. And because you couldn't do bulk mintings, it didn't actually affect the whales. Did not actually take a good majority in here. It was actually the smaller guys that spent the time physically pushing that button. It actually kind of shocked me a little bit because the whales don't have time or patience for it. So we had a lot of smaller individuals, taking a lot of these NFTs out, which I thought was awesome. And I think what you have to look for over the next week, because we've got 4 more projects, we're going to have more swapping that's available. We've got big partner announcements, and Dex today was our first exchange. We've got another exchange popping off here in the next 10 to 15 days, and the next 10 to 15 days after that, another one. And like I said, we actually have them lined up all the way to the end of the year. Every exchange will add liquidity. Every exchange will add a lengthening of the tradability of it, so it's going to be less volatile, and this will make everybody's life a lot easier to get into the projects without having error codes, slippage, and that type of stuff. The older you are, trust me, it gets better.
Very cool, very exciting. Dan, where do we start? You made a post about Lemon Club today. There's something we haven't really discussed at all. Do you want to touch on that? I love the graphic, by the way. Fantastic.
Yeah, so with Lemon Club, it goes into a lot of the standard games everybody enjoys, everybody likes, everybody puts through. You got blackjack, you got roulette. You can feel free to jump around. It is not available in all jurisdictions. There are some caveats to that. But having said that, there's a lot of places around the world that love to gamble. It's just an online joyous. All of it is low limit. We want to make sure that no one goes out there and gets hurt. It's for entertainment, but it's going to be a huge revenue generator. This is something that you can onboard those assets in almost, I think there's 40 different payment options to get in. One of them is Lemon. You can also come out using Lemon. And so the nice thing about it is you can basically stake in Lemon. You come in with a credit card or PayPal or a lot of other options, and then you can actually come back out in Lemon. And so it's a way for you to go out there and just have fun and have a club that you can play some poker with your friends. You can do some sports betting with your friends and watch the game and just enjoy. Again, it's about the experience, and it's about getting out there and just having fun and making the game maybe a little more fun to watch because you have just a little bit of something on it. And so that's what we're trying to build, guys. It's just fun and just gamify everything. That's what makes our life so much better when you have a smile on your face and just not take things too seriously.
Is this going to get bundled into something like lemlotto, or is this going to be an independent L2 project?
It's an independent, and the reason for it is we have different partners on them. The biggest thing with Lotto is, and let's actually talk about how big Lotto potentially could be. This is one that a lot of people don't understand. I'm one that I started buying stupid Lotto tickets when I was 18 years old. I've gotten to the point I don't do it every single day or every single week anymore, like I did throughout my 20s. I have actually won a few little prizes, and so when you win the stupidest little prize, you spend at least 3 or 4 times more trying to get to a bigger prize. But this is just something to have fun as well. They are not expensive. These things will go out for $1 up a pick, and if you do 10, you'll get them for 8 for 10. We're trying to have some fun with it. But here is where the life-changing difference is. These things will have a $1 million LEM token reward. Now, if it starts off being $1 million and then it goes up, and we had the fun thing today, hypothetically, let's say Lotto launched at $10. That means today that 1 million is not 1 million anymore. It's 630 million at this particular second, looking at the Dex screener in front of me. So these are going to grow really rapidly. I will tell you, just like Lotto, the winnings will be placed into a smart contract. Anything $1 million will be paid out to you immediately, and the rest actually goes out to the wallet you connected and you got your winnings from, or you paid your ticket for, goes directly back out to that wallet, and it gets paid over a 10-year period. Why do we do this? Guess what that just did to the supply of LEM? Number one, it also protects you from yourself to be one of those nice little use case studies to go out there and win a lotto and you don't have anything left after it's all said and done. So I actually believe that Lotto winnings is going to be so much fun because as we are working as a team, as a community to build the price and build the sustainability of this beautiful ecosystem we're letting free starting today, you could actually get your Lotto winnings in, and let's say it's 10,000, 20,000, 300,000, $1 million LEM token. Over the next 10 years, we're not talking about the winnings of a dollar figure. We're talking about winnings of LEM. And what that means these things are going to be massively fun to watch. And so again, just don't go crazy. Have fun with it. It's a gaming exercise of just taking some spare cash, and instead of buying the pack of gum or buying the drink, go have fun and just play around. 20% of every single ticket, that's 20 cents, goes into the royalty of this project. What's really fun about that, guys, is it will start growing very quickly for the NFT holders. When we talk about 4 million influencers around the world, they cannot talk about the crypto, but they sure as heck can talk about lemlotto. They sure as heck can talk about lemflix. They sure as heck can talk about the store. They can sure as heck talk about mobile. They can sure as heck talk about the underlying products. We keep going through the bank, the debit card, the airtime for cellular, the data. Guys, we have a whole barrage of products that we barely have just clipped the very, very small tidbit on it. And I think this is where it's really going to be fun for people to see how we are monetizing you guys all in a different way, so we can afford to give free NFTs. And this is what's great. Everybody, talks about all this money that potentially they may have other crypto projects. They may have taken a beating. Guys, this is something that's supposed to be fun. Have fun with it. It is a free ecosystem. Get your friends to come physically mint a free NFT and just come along for the ride and enjoy. And I think we'll all have some great success together if we do it right.
Very cool. Guys, I don't know if you heard that. I think he went so quick, you guys missed it. He was talking about not indexing the value in dollars any longer. How's that for a preview and a mind bomb there? That's awesome. I love it. And I also see the future the same way. Jay, there's people asking about lemcare. That's another new one to hit the streets. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on there.
Okay, so this is actually an ongoing business that already exists. We do get benefits of the ongoing infrastructure that's already there. Some of these are putting toes in the water for companies. They are doing a small little, a bite at the apple for new stuff like lemflix, for instance. We're not getting the million current users. We're getting what's coming on with lemflix coming forward as a starting point for them. Lemcare is actually not that way. They have over 3,000 doctors already. It's telemedicine that are up and going every single day. They've been around for years. They physically are answering calls. They're writing prescriptions. They are servicing clients from around the world. It also has a veterinary option in there as well for all of your pets and your other loved ones that are in your house. This is one that'll be our first fully integrated L2 project that has the bonus power of being an already active underlying company. So this is one that's fun, and we have more like this coming up. Everybody kind of asks, well, how much royalties day one? It's irrelevant, and I really don't want to throw that out and just say how stupid it is to ask the question, because it is not a stupid question. It's a very, very relevant question, but it's not relevant today because it's not being listed. It's not relevant today because we basically are not trying to talk about what it's going to be. We're just going to show you. Now, how that's being done is the tokenomics and how these liquidity wallets are coming together. I don't want you to have to believe me of what's coming in. You're going to see it directly on the blockchain. How the L2 projects work, and maybe some people haven't totally grasped how this is put together, is it's no one physically has to put this into a very short window. So the liquidity wallet is separated out into 1/24. 2 years worth of liquidity is put in there. Every project has to pre-fund. I'm going to actually go ahead and just spill the beans tonight. Let's talk about lemflix, and I'm just going to tell you how much is in lemflix. Okay, it's 50,000 lem token is in the liquidity for lemflix day one. Day one, right now. What happens now is as royalties come in, as the user base starts to grow, which right now, guys, it's nothing. It's nobody. So royalties, I have to tell you, day one are there because of the pre-purchased lem that physically is in the liquidity wallet. Having said that, moving forward, every single month, every single user, $1 per user gets added. The company is currently right now over 1 million users. We feel very comfortably with our new partner that you'll be able to see tomorrow and get to know. We can put 1 million on in this ecosystem in a very short period of time. That's $1 million a month, an additional liquidity going to the liquidity wallet. Now, when it goes to liquidity wallet, it doesn't hit the market that day. 1/24 of it does in the next month. This builds for the future. And the reason for it is when that liquidity wallet is still around 2 years from now, but there's no tokens coming in anymore. Because if you look at the tokenomics very carefully, these L2 projects are designed to stop distributing token based off of the activity of the users in about 9 to 10 quarters out. And so in about 2 years, 2.5 years, you're going to see these things now not put any more token into the ecosystem. But you still have a huge liquidity wallet that comes in every single day and buys and buys and buys and buys. And so that's what really is going to be fun to show everybody and kind of kick around, because when you actually understand what's coming, this is just the beginning.
You talked about 9 and 10 quarters, but the truth is, much like we saw with Rev, it could end up being much quicker than that, because I mean, I've had a close look at those things, and man, does that distribution schedule cut quick?
Yeah. So here's the secret. If we get day traders in these L2 projects, it's going to cut a lot quicker, a lot quicker. Well, let's just take an example. We'll take LEMX right now. Just in the last, it's been an hour and a half. There's $4.8 million in volume that has gone over LEMX. That basically means if this was an L2 project, we would have already burnt $480 million in token in the last hour and a half. So if we get day traders and bots like we just experienced, what you're going to find is these tokens now go into a burn wallet that is matched by the EGI, which means you didn't burn 480 million. You burnt 960 million in total token. This is where it's going to get fun very quickly, and you're going to see that EGI pool kick down. Now, if no one sells, no one trades off, the back end swaps don't happen, it's going to last about nine quarters. With Rev, there was a lot of day trading in the beginning, a lot. And by doing that, it has wrecked the EGI pool, which is actually one of the benefits, because you get to see something play out, and that's why it has been more stable. There's less holders in it because people got out early. People got out at 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, and then I think we've hit a top of over 30 cents on it. And all the liquidity has actually been basically shut off of it to come in and buy, which will be starting back up again. But right now it really hasn't been that volatile. It stayed pretty consistent over 8, which is 800% higher than when it listed. And so you're going to see that really start fluctuating in the upward momentum as it starts getting paired, as I hope that the node holders or the NFT holders come back in and vote to come over to the platform. And I think this is something that when you mix Rev with Lem and some of the new things we have coming out, some updates coming, we have residuals every single month started for these projects. It's not going to act like, it is going to be a Lem central type tokenomic.
When we'll hold back on some of the updates because I picked up on what you were saying there, but is there an estimated date range of when the pairing would happen? Obviously, it couldn't happen right away because Lem didn't exist. Now that it does, we already see it on the DApp. I know people were asking that question, so is there any commentary on that?
Yeah, so there is something that's a little difficult, and this is something that if you know me, I'm a very decentralized kind of guy. I would love to sit there and say I have all the ability whatsoever at all to say, you know what, screw it, I'm taking everybody to Lemon, I'm bringing them on, I'm making you guys come on the Lemon chain. That goes against everything in my being of being decentralized, and so it's not right. It will break the light paper. The light paper very specifically states it will be paired to debt. Lemon is not debt. So we are going to have to physically make a vote that has to do with the pairing of the projects, taking it off of debt, which will require moving a liquidity pool. Although they're not large right now, we do need to still have a vote for that because it will directly impact the liquidity pools of those projects. And I believe that the NFT holders have a right to make that decision. So I'll tell you the category of these 3 votes. It is actually a 3-part scenario. Either way, the projects will continue supporting them. You will have the option to stay with debt in the way it currently is running. You have 2. The second option would basically be going over, and that's what's happening right now. You're basically getting into a new DApp. You're being separated away from the debt DApp, and you're going into a Binance DApp. You're being able to see it on the Lemon DApp, but you're not a Lemon part of the family completely yet. If we go to L1 and you choose you do not want to go to the L1, you have the right to choose that. I don't think anybody will, but it has to be something that has to be talked about and actually voted on, because we will be leaving Binance. So you basically have the new L1 of debt, you have Binance you're currently on, and then you have Lemon. You can see where I choose. I would love everybody to be, but it's not my choice to make for anybody. I am a very large holder of NFTs in these projects. I know where my vote is going to be. I'm actually going to let the community kind of make the initial voting around. They can't actually get to the numbers without my votes. So I'm just trying to see where the community is leaning, and I'm going to do what's best for the community based off of your guys' votes and not my own. That makes the most sense for me. And I believe we've shown each other in the last hour and a half that I have a plan, I have a vision, and I hope you guys have that trust with me to come along for the ride. And it will mean changing tokenomics. It will mean changing light papers, and it will mean changing a pairing utility token if you choose to go all the way that direction.
Are we going to be doing a voting similar to like what we do in the old app? Is that kind of what we're waiting on for the app to go live? Okay.
Yeah, we're actually going to do it on the DApp. You need to basically be able to log in and do wallet connect, because we need to verify the wallets that people voting physically have the projects. So it needs to be built out on the DApp. We are working on that as quickly as possible. I feel we're still talking either right before August 1st or the first part of August. It'll also give you guys a lot more insight. We are brand new. We are fresh. I get it. We're crisp. I think we have a lot of fun things going on. But you guys need to be able to see some of these other project launches. You need to make sure that I am living up to my expectation to myself of doing things on time, doing them correctly, holding stuff back if it makes sense. I know that everybody wanted this thing to be listed yesterday. I was not ready because as I fell asleep and I missed the fun party of the NFTs, and I got woken up about 5 times that we broke some of the tech underneath it because you guys had so much fun hitting the mint it button. Having said that, we want to make sure we're doing these things. We're not going to hurt anybody, and taking this too soon would have hurt some people. So we made the judgment call to push it just a few hours, not bad. And we're off to the races. That is what my job is basically just to make sure we're not going to go off the rails. It's your guys' job now to basically get this thing to a point of L1, get the validators up there. So it's not me making any of these decisions. The validators are there to protect you at that point.
Very cool. Well, I know people are very excited, or most people are very excited to see all the old legacy projects paired to the new utility token. So that would be exciting. Speaking of NFTs and new L2 projects, do we have an estimated date for when they will go live? A lot of people are assuming 72 hours, so maybe Thursday. Are we kind of on track for that?
Yeah, so I believe you're going to have one that you're going to be able to go out there and mint this week. We try to target Thursdays. And then next week, we're actually get the other 3 out. We're trying to make sure that we allow enough time for the design staff. We're still working on a skeleton crew. We are obviously hiring. That being said, we still have to make sure we're not going to dunk our design teams. Every one of these projects requires a lot of artwork. It requires a lot of setup. The dev teams have it pretty much down for tech-wise, but there's a lot more that goes into these NFTs than just pressing a button and saying, here you go. Everybody wants to know where these minting fees go. Guys, people don't work for free. And trust me, it's not 10 cents to mint an NFT. There's so much that goes behind the scenes in order to get these things out. So that being said, I want to give everybody comfort that if the light papers are up, they're coming, and there are more light papers coming. We have a lot of projects. We need to get a lot of our partners out front facing. Everybody wants to see them. I want to share them with you. Trust me, they want to come out when the project starts poking their head up. So I think this makes a lot of sense to introduce them to you when they have something to introduce with me and bring me forward. So that being said, I think tomorrow will be fun. I think we'll continue building a lot of excitement in that around. And again, if you have questions, Terry, that you saw today, there was so much stuff going on. I missed probably more than half of the Telegram chat today. But if you heard something, I'd love to go ahead and get into Q&A and answer any other questions about either the projects coming up, the light papers, or vision, or if you're having issues with tech, just let me know.
Yeah, I think one of the main things right now is some people had a lot of problems, whether it was the actual app itself or Pancake Swap or whatever. And I'm seeing a lot of people, with a bit of a sour face on like they've been into a lemon, and it's painful to get that tech road rash. Not stuff that's all in anyone's really control, but I think if you just reframe their focus that the L2 projects are going to do a lot better, a lot bigger, and that this is just the beginning of where LEMX is, I think they'll, you know, they'll see it in context and take a deep breath and realize that there's still a lot of exciting things coming here.
If you heard what I just said with the tokenomics of the L2s, I firmly believe how the L2s are designed, the price of the L2s will actually beat the utility. There are a few that literally will outpace the actual USD equivalent price than the utility token. There's just not enough token that's going to be there. So if you wait this thing out, anybody that's paying attention to the tokenomics can actually run them through. If we get trading like we did today, you're going to have some of these things take off, which is why I'm trying to let everybody enjoy what's going on. But I joke every day with the team that these tokenomics are designed for 100,000 plus NFTs, and we're only sitting at like 15,000. You guys are getting so many more token than we ever anticipated in the tokenomics, which is great. But understand, you guys are going to benefit drastically. Has anybody ran the math of what you guys are earning right now based off a listing price of 20 cents?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, listing price actually just went higher because we broke the target. Listing price at 20 cents was a $20 LEMX.
You guys paying attention yet?
Anybody paying? So understand that the design is basically a 10 cent for $10. We chose 20 because I felt we were going to get to 20 to 25 today. This is actually above where I even thought possible, which is awesome. It's amazing. And if we have a pullback, the reality is I will actually smile because I'll say it's a buying opportunity because I have us targeted for a very particular number that's a 3-digit number in the next 60 days, purely because of what we are bringing out. We tapped on a couple orders. There were actually a couple that got in there to the $99 range during this rodeo. And I told you it was going to be a whiplash. I told you it was going to be fun. We physically have a lot of stuff coming out. The amount of token that's in circulation right now, $25 million in validators that will be up for sale starting tomorrow. We've got about $25 million per L2 project that is physically what we feel they're going to come in through and done. And the reality is the community here is not the ones that we anticipate minting them. So let me be crystal clear. That is actually not what the design is. The design is to put a new, fresh face, new, fresh people. It's about the partner tomorrow you will meet and how this partnership is going to take us to not only the next level, but something that's never been done in crypto before.
Well, that's exciting as hell. I know you have some other surprises for this week. Are we going to wait till later in the week, or did you want to hit them with a couple surprises that may or may not come out?
We actually have a lot of surprises coming out, and I'm going to probably wait a little bit later in the week. But again, we have more listings coming. We have more exchanges coming, and this is day one. We just released free Lemon. It just today is the day. So it's the birthday of Lemon moving forward. So if you're seeing the vision, you're seeing what's going on, no one should be sour. If you missed out on price, guys, I have a vision. I have a goal. I have something we're putting together. I am going after something. And if I'm successful, this will be something that has never been done in crypto. And guys, I'm not talking about one country or one entity or one government saying this is the vision. I'm talking about making Lemon a household name for everybody. And I don't mean just the individuals in the free market. I mean corporations. Treasury for corporations. I mean index funds. I mean countries. I mean everything. And so understand, this is my vision. I believe we can get it done with Lemon. And so I will be working my butt off every day to fulfill that mission for everyone.
Guys, let that sink in. That's incredible. You said validators are coming up soon. Do you want to talk about them tomorrow, or did you want to talk about a little bit more about validators today?
So we'll be doing a live tomorrow with our partners. So I'm going to probably say, if we have a question about validators, let's go ahead and do it now. I got 3 questions pretty comfortably on my DMs. Number 1 is, will it be cash flow with the validator? Currently, right now, the way that the L1 has been designed, the answer is no. The reason for it is we are different than any other crypto in the world, meaning we have a cash flow mechanism, we have a cash purchasing for token. We actually have a NFT that does distribution every single day without having a validator, and then we have validators. We have a functional piece in our design that no other cryptocurrency already has today in the way we basically do it. It hasn't brought to my attention. We have a lot of validators that would like to have some cash flow. We are looking into what that would take. Terry's laughing because it was him. He's one of 10. He's actually not the only one, because we have a lot of validators that would like to have that free cash scenario. We are looking into it. I will tell you, I'm not going to make a commitment it'll be one way or another, but I will agree to at least take a look at it and run. The other question, so right now the answer is no, it's not there. I'm looking at it to see if it's something we can build in and not delay the L1 coming forward, or maybe it'll be in a V push. We'll have the validators vote for it, and we'll put it in later on. The next thing is how many LEM token can you physically put on the validators? Well, one, it won't be token anymore. When we get to an L1, it's the lemon coin. That is a big difference between being on an L1 versus an L2. All the other projects will always stay tokens, but our utility token will turn to our cryptocurrency. It will physically be a coin, meaning it will be classified as a currency worldwide. This is what you're staking into the validator. You can do 5,000 coins per validator, and it can be done either by the validator itself or it will be done by the community. Today is a prime example of why you can basically see what's happening with the growth curve. I think having token in your L2 projects that you can play around with, but having your core base in your coin makes a lot of sense to park it away in a savings account. And it will protect you from yourself from selling too early. It'll protect yourself from being able to do that, but at least earning something for it. And you have the real estate being a validator to do that. It's a rental property that never goes away. You own that piece of the blockchain. This is how I'm giving everything away. This is not Jason's project. This is the community's project I'm showing you right now. It will be set free almost day one. Next part about the validators that I get asked a lot of time is, what about the delegators? Do I have to trust the validator that my token is on? No, you do not have to trust the validators at all. And in fact, the validators are protecting your assets with the whole blockchain. It is done by the smart contracts. Therefore, you cannot have one rogue validator take off with any of your delegated token. If you stake it, it is protected by the family. It is protected by the whole chain itself. So the benefit of you being a delegator is you can pick your time window, you can pick your horizon. You don't have to have an upfront cost to do it. You may be paying more rent, which obviously is better to own the piece of property than to rent it. But having said that, it gives you that ability to get in there and start earning. And by doing that, you are not owning the piece of real estate, but you are growing to a point where you could own it in the future. Last but not least, Terry, and this also goes back to you, is how do you host it? Do you host it on a cloud or a hard piece? There is a lot of discussion on this worldwide. If you do not have consistent power and a consistent internet, you should always pick a cloud hosting option, period. That's it, period. If you have those two, I'm a big proponent of running your own hardware, but it has to be in a situation where you know the other two are taken out of the table and being done. So that's my 2 cents. We'll give you a couple hardware options. I think cloud for most of the world where you don't have consistent internet is the only option. Otherwise, a hard piece in the basic areas, I think is good to not have a monthly fee with it and you just own it.
Yeah, it also comes with some tech challenges if you're not really, really savvy. It's just one of those things you probably want to bypass.
That's somewhat tech savvy for.
I did want to comment on the L1 timeline. It feels like there's a little bit of acceleration in the air.
It will, guys. Right now, we are ready, and so when I say we're it's physically we're here. So our time horizon right now is roughly 6 weeks, and I will tell you we may beat that. That basically means that once the 500 validator has been sold, we are going to lift it up, and we are actually going to go ahead and have the blockchain up and live. This basically gets us to a point where it's not 5,000. That is not the number we have to get to in order to get this thing going. The chain will physically be self-sufficient at 500. Why do we need 5,000 then? Because you don't want to have that in a very short, small few hands. The 5,000 gets us to a point where it is decentralized. I want to make a commitment that I don't ever want to own more than 500 validators as a corporation or any individual getting anywhere close to that. So the reality is we need to have the community come in here and purchase that real estate right now to make sure that everybody checks the boxes so that nothing foul can ever happen to the direction, to the pledge, to the world, because we're building it for the people. We are the people. We're building it for the people, and this is a very honest visual of that.
I mean, it's just incredible, guys. You're all here on day one, so you know your road rash, it'll heal. This too shall pass. But we're here on day one. It's an incredible time to be here. Super exciting things. Jay, this question's been asked many, many, many times, but on the subject of validators, could we just put one last final nail in it, please? You can only buy validators with LEMX, correct?
Done. No option. No other option, period. In fact, I will make a commitment. There's nothing in this ecosystem that you're going to be able to use USDT on except for minting the NFT of LEMX until L1. Then it's nothing.
Could it potentially also switch to LEMX for the LEMX NFTs before L1, or is it just not going to meet the timeline map? Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. We're 6 weeks away. I think we're just going to let the smart contracts lie. I've got a lot of other smart contracts, but it will be the only thing that'll be open between now and L1. After that, it's 100% LEMX. We believe in our product. We believe that that is the cash of the future. That is the crypto. There's no sense in us using anything else other than our own a coin at that point.
I love it, guys. LEMX coin's got a very bright future, guys. If you think about some of the projects in the legacy crypto space, what happened if you got in near the early days and what happened over time, I think we could potentially, hashtag not financial advice, potentially be in that scenario. So yeah, I mean, let's just focus on the future. These L2 projects are going to be fire. I can't wait for it. Yeah, and like Steve said, you know, absolutely brilliant plan. Happy to be a part of it. And hey, guys, big round of applause and gratitude to Jason and the team who really are getting things done in a short time frame, delivering on the promises, getting minting, staking, tokens. Everything's going live. It's very refreshing from what this past year has been like. So that's fantastic. I know we could talk about a million things. I know we're coming up around the 40-minute mark here. Do you have other final closing thoughts you want to share for today? And I got one last question other than that I just thought of. So go.
Sure. Yeah. I actually want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank Mike, but I want to thank the community for making this possible and for coming along for the ride to this point. We are going to have a lot of family join us. And that is my job. It is something that I've been telling everybody. I'm trying not to leave anybody behind. This is something that I want to stand by and something I want to continue to emphasize. The time is now. We are to the point where we have now launched. We are physically here on the launch pad. There is no more stopping the flood that is coming. The partners are very anxious to come forward, and there's nothing I'll be able to do to hold them back. So we are here. We are now, and we are going.
I know we talked recently, and you said there's a big announcement, like you're introducing a partner tomorrow. It's a reasonable expectation that there's a lot more coming soon, probably even next week. So people have to realize there's so many big things, like big news events, guys. These are not small news events that are about to come out. So
weekly for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, there you go, friends. Weekly for the foreseeable future, guys. We got something awesome going. So I don't know about you guys. I'm pumped. We'll wrap it up there. I know it was frantic. Yeah, it's a huge step today. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up for here. Jason, thank you so much for your time. It's super exciting, and feel free to keep hitting us with surprises this week. We're all ready for them.
Always will do. You guys love them, and I'll drop some more lemon bombs almost weekly. So get ready for some fun stuff. I will be updating the announcement channel, and I'm going to hold Terry and Mike to make sure that my feet are held to the fire or help me out with them, because I think it's important to make sure we got the clutter chat to a point where people can come in and just get the announcements. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.